Hi everyone, and welcome to April's Plan With Me. So April is, I think, one of the favorite months of the year, not only because it is my birth month, but also because it's finally when we get rid of that cold weather and it just gets so nice outside. I love the outdoors. It's like the one place I can go to kind of like clear my mind. And I've always loved the outdoors ever since I was little. So I love plants, nature, everything. So April is like my favorite month of the year. So in this plan with me, I'm gonna go through my habits, my monthly plan, my weekly plans, and kind of make a goal for the month of April in that little page before the daily pages start. So I'm gonna start with the habits. Let's move these out of the way. All right, so for the habits, you can see last month, I've actually been doing pretty good. I'm recording this on the 31st, so nothing is filled out yet. As you can see, my reading, I did pretty much almost every day. Eating healthy, which is for me under 1,600 calories, was also really good. And I actually reached my target weight a couple of times, but I want to get to where every time I step on the scale at that specific time, I am my target weight. So I'm going to continue that. Yoga and meditation is one that I want to really start doing. And it's something that as I'm rereading Atomic Habits, which I'm talking about in my book club, I'm making a game plan for. Cleaning is good. Japanese, not as good as I want it to be, but also I just got some supplies in the mail for studying, and I'm going to make a video on how I study Japanese for self-study. Because I really want to make a system that will work. I haven't really set one up that has worked for me so far yet. So journaling has been okay. I'd like to do it every day, but some days it's fine. Sometimes things aren't written, and that's totally fine. Production, I've been doing a lot more of, which I'm really happy about. I'm making more YouTube videos. I'm doing more of my internship, more for my school, which I'm graduating in 2 months. So definitely happy that I'm doing more of that. Working out, not as much as I want to be, but I mean, hey, it's the quarantine. I can't go to the gym, so what am I gonna do? So as you can see, I actually already wrote out the habits that I have planned for this month because, and I suggest you do this too, you should write out in ink the day before you highlight over it. Otherwise, it will get all over the place. Like you can see, I wrote read here, and then I highlighted too early. So just to make sure the ink dries, I wait until the day after to add that color. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that color now. So first I have working out, which that is always one for me. I used to do like weights all the time at the gym. Of course, that's not happening as much anymore since, since quarantine, but now that it's getting nicer out, we can make a kind of home gym because we do have actually a squat rack outside that we would like to start using. Production, again, I'm really getting into a good kind of rhythm with my work. And this is something that I'm going to talk about when we go into the weeks and months where I'm starting to batch more. That's something that I realized actually in therapy, that I am doing so many things just scattered throughout the week when batching my tasks together would really cause a lot less stress. So that is something that I'm hoping production will increase a little bit. Journaling, of course, honestly, I'm not mad at last month's journaling. I think I did pretty well. So we'll just continue with that pace. Japanese, like I said, I really want to increase. I do actually have a tutor that I meet with every other week, and basically, I'll talk more about this in the video, but basically we just speak only in Japanese, which I'm actually kind of proud of myself. I didn't expect to do as good as I thought, but my grammar is bad because I never really was great at speaking in Japanese. So that's definitely like a soft spot for me. Next we have cleaning. So cleaning, since I have my dog in my in-laws' house, I want to be respectful of their space. I vacuum every day, kind of in the areas where my dog stays, and every other day, the entire house. Also being sure to stay on top of laundry, which is, it is piling up, but that happens. Yoga and meditation. Like I said, I did think I did yoga like one time this month. And I'm going to talk about this because last month, one of my big goals was to breathe, and I haven't really followed through on that goal. The other two, I'm definitely really happy that I followed through on that goal, those other goals, but breathe definitely is something that I need to stick with. Now we have healthy eating. I am hoping that this is the last month where this is kind of like something for me, because I have found that I'm counting calories now, even though I'm not like severely overweight or anything. I have gained weight quite a lot and quite quickly due to the quarantine. So I just wanted to be, proactive instead of just letting that continue to happen. I want to get on top of it and make my habits a little bit better with that. So I'm hoping I won't need to include it in the habit tracker next month. I might have to. We'll see how it goes. Now we have reading, which, oh my gosh, I mean, honestly, this isn't really a habit anymore. Before, it was so hard to get myself to sit down. But I'll actually show you my updated reading list later in this video. I have read so many books. I think in this last month, I must have read 10 books. And you can follow me on Goodreads to see what I'm reading, but it's like my go-to now. Audiobooks, I'm using my Kindle, even reading physical books that have just been sitting collecting dust for so long. And so there's two new habits that I'm adding this month. One is social, and then one is like time I spend with my husband, just like quality time that isn't just, sitting down and eating next to each other, like going out on a date or having like even just an intentional movie night, playing video games together, because we live in the same space. We have our desks literally right next to each other. So we are together all the time, but I want to track like the time that we actually are together, like intentionally together. And then for the social, I am not the best at reaching out to friends. I love my friends dearly. The few that I have, I love them dearly, but I am just trash at connecting online, which is unfortunately like one of the only options right now. Of course, I hope to get the vaccine this month too. That would be so nice, in which case we could hang out a lot more, and the weather is getting nice, so we're gonna go hiking more, social distance hiking and all that. But also I'd like to just every day reach out to a friend and ask like, hey, what's up, how are you doing? Because I don't want them to think that like I'm forcing myself to do it, but in a way I kind of have to. I have to remind myself, hey, you should reach out to this person because you love them and you want to let them know that you love them. So let's see, I gotta pick the colors for this. Maybe, I have these colors left. I already have one blue in there. Maybe I don't really want to do a dark blue. Brown, I don't know about that. I might go, I might do tan and pink. I would just make it the order of the rainbow, but I kind of want to keep the same habits that I've had, like the same color. Job search is definitely going to come up next month, starting not this month, but next month, because I'm graduating next month. So I'm going to try these colors and see. Oh, that doesn't look too bad. It's a little bit bright, but if you fill it in, and then pink, or light pink rather. Yeah, so those are definitely like a little more washed out, but it's what I got. So I have all my habits down, and I just like to add a little bit of washi tape. Let's do purple this month, because purple is my favorite color. Even though I don't like have it in a lot of clothes and everything. It's not my favorite thing to wear, not even my favorite thing to like surround myself with, but it's just like, it was my favorite color when I was growing up. I had that like 5th generation iPod Nano that was purple, and oh my god, I loved that thing. Get rid of this one, it's not very sticky. So purple is kind of like a nostalgic love of mine. I guess now I'd say either like yellow or blue are colors that I wear most often now, but blue I definitely surround myself with most. I don't know why. Maybe it has to do with like nature, just outdoorsiness. All right. It is getting a little bit dark, so I apologize if it gets grainy. I do have it on auto ISO. Jeez, let's see. Okay, so we have this month all set up to get going. And I mean, honestly, while I'm here, why don't I fill out a couple of my habits. I already this morning did read, of course. That's the easy part. This is not a cheat day, so I plan on filling that out, but I do not fill it out until it is done. And of course I'm journaling right now, so I might as well just fill that in there. And I'm doing production right now, recording a video, and I did record a little bit of another video earlier, so let's fill that out as well. Isn't that so satisfying to see? Nice. And then now this month I have filled all 10 slots, so we'll see how it looks there. I was going kind of slow and steady because my last year's Hobonichi definitely withered down at the end. So I want to take it slow. There's no need to like cram a bunch of habits if you're not going to use them, but I've been doing pretty good, so I'm gonna add a couple more. And these, you know, obviously these ones are easy and very important. All right. So next is the month. So this was March. I do have these little tabs for the month, week, and day. So I'm gonna go ahead and just move it over now. All right, so now we're on months, and I'm just gonna go ahead and start with the important dates. Remember, I have a coding system where this gray is for school stuff. This purple is for projects or my internship. This yellow, kind of orangish yellow, is for work. And this red is for personal, like appointments, doctor's appointments, stuff like that. So you can see I already have filled out a doctor's appointment. I like to fill those out if I plan them in advance, obviously, so I don't forget. But also, I like to fill out birthdays and stuff for this. So first is Easter, where I'm gonna go to church with my dad, and also we're gonna celebrate my sister's birthday, even though it is on the 5th, so let me write that. It's my sister's birthday and also my grandma's birthday. Now, April 20th is my birthday. So, of course, that's exciting. And then also on the 23rd is my friend's birthday. And then on the 24th is my other friend's birthday. And I think that's about it. I have to double check for like more distant relatives or friends who I can't quite remember on the top of my head. So those are all the birthdays. I also have D&D going on. I think I have it. Oh, I actually do have it tomorrow. So D&D at 8. And this happens every other week. I'm trying to remember. I usually have one other thing I think before it, but I'm just gonna go ahead and put it, oops, nope, every other week, so skip that. I also have therapies on Friday, so, well, therapy, not therapies. Therapy on Friday, so therapy at 10. You might hear my dog squeaking in the background. I gave her a new toy. I gave her a new toy right before recording this, which probably wasn't a good idea, but I mean, I love her, so I couldn't help it. Oh, you know what? I think it might be one of my other dogs' birthday too. I have to figure out when that is. Let's see. I think that this is about it as far as personal stuff goes that I have planned. Yeah, and of course, I mean, whenever I remember, I'll add in something else. All right, next, let's do work stuff. So next week, I believe, I already wrote this down in my weekly plan. Okay, so next week is actually when I start a new work plan. So I will start, like I said, I need to do batching. So I'm going to do tutoring 8:30 to 11, and then I have a different meeting from 11 to 12, and then I tutor again from, I think, 1:30 or 12:30. Let me check. So I already planned it in. 12:30 to 6. So instead of spreading it out over 3 days, I get all of my tutoring done in one day, and I do not have to worry about it. Like, for example, today, I start tutoring at 2, and then I tutor again at 1 the next day, and I tutor at Monday morning. So it's kind of like all over the place. I also tutor a private, I do private tutoring too for a middle schooler. So I'm just gonna write that down now. I'm gonna ask to reschedule on April 20th because that's my birthday, so. Not the neatest, I kind of ran out of space. And then finally, I do tutor a girl in Japanese. I will have to see if she has to do Saturday, if she can do Saturday instead. There's quite a bit going on. This week or this month that I gotta reschedule around, but gotta tutor her at 10 on Sundays. All right. So I think, oh well, I need to finish in my Quinnipiac tutoring. That is all filled in. So I think that is all for this. I'm gonna have to reschedule this and this. So let me actually quickly write that in my day page for today. All right. So yeah, so now I have both work and personal stuff out of the way. Now I don't believe there's any school stuff this week. I'll have to double check later to see if there's like days off in the calendar or something. The only thing that I have is, I believe, at 6. I always have to double check. From 6 to 7, I do have one Zoom meeting. Okay, so filled that all in. That is all the school stuff, I believe, and then I have graduation sometime. I definitely gotta write that in because I guess it's a little bit important. And then I have my internship, which the only thing, well, I think I have to be sure, but I have an interview to schedule here. But the only kind of like recurring thing that's set in stone is our weekly meetings on Monday. Okay, so as you can see, because I'm batching all this Quinnipiac stuff together, this is what it looked like before. Now this is what it looks like after. So Mondays are a little bit packed, but I would much rather start my week off getting all of that out of the way so that I can focus on my 2 classes, my personal projects, and my internship for the rest of the week. So yeah, that's my month. Why don't I add a little bit of niceness to it, I guess. I really, really love this washi tape. I am a little bit stingy with it, but I think because it is my favorite month of the year, I will go ahead and just use it. I think that's about right. Maybe this time go a little bit. I never really use the other like space on this page, so I'm just gonna fill it in with nice little stickers. When I whip out the I have my box of various stickers and stuff, I might attack this page again at the end of the video. But there we go, a nice little April page. I'm so happy that it's actually going to be April soon. All right, now let's go to the weeks. It is just getting darker and darker because I think it's gonna rain later. Let me try to get my light a little bit over. Okay, hopefully that helps a little bit. But anyway, so here's the last week of March. Before I go to April, I'll just flip through quickly March because I know I only filled out one weekly page last time. As you can see, kind of the first month I was good with keeping track of my mood, which is definitely something that I want to continue doing, and I've started again this week. But you know, just filling it all in. Yeah, this was last week, and then this is this week, so I'm keeping track again. As you can see, it's a good week so far. I think it might be all the caffeine, but also I think the peak at April is really exciting. Also, I started a new podcast, and even though it's not getting like a ton of views, I mean, my stuff never really gets a ton of views, it's having positive reception, and I also have a really awesome guest coming up soon. Which let me add that into my monthly, I'll do it later, but I have an awesome guest coming up soon, so definitely subscribe. You don't want to miss it. She is a great YouTuber. So yeah, this is like the rest of the week here. Obviously it's gonna start tomorrow, but looking beyond that, I think I already did, because I had made the new schedule for work, I had already gone ahead and planned out at least that day. Oh, and there's a little peek. If you know her first name, there's a little sneak peek at who it's gonna be. But the rest of it is pretty much blank. So I'm just gonna start by adding washi tape to each of the weeks here, and yeah, we'll go from there. This little washi tape roll is giving me a little bit of trouble. I'll just do that instead. Okay, there we go. All right, so as you can see, I've already pretty much planned this week. What else do I have? So this week right now. This is the first day of the month. So let's see, I'm gonna have some therapy. I'll start with the red. I don't know where my Shiba ruler went. It's around here somewhere, but I also have this little stencil. Right now I'm just using the corners of it as a ruler, as a guide to make my line straight. So Friday, At 10. If it doesn't get stuck on stuff. Also, I think I've had like, oh my god, look at that. I think I've had a little too much caffeine, so my fingers are shaky. But let's see, that's pretty much all I have. And then I have Easter. I know I'm going to church at 8. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's about right. So church at 8. And then I'm probably gonna go to the temple around 11 or so. We're doing like a special prayer there. I haven't gone to church in a very long time because of quarantine. The last time I've been there was for my wedding. That was outdoors. But we'll go to the temple at 11. And then the rest of the day, it's just gonna be Easter. We're gonna have lunch with my family in the town that they live in then. So I might draw in like a little doodle later on for that day. Let's see, what else do we got? We have nothing. Nothing is planned for the rest of this week here. Like I said, I'm definitely gonna have to fill this in because I know I'm gonna have more meetings and stuff with an internship and then a second documentary that I'm picking up. Please excuse my dog lapping water. She's gotta stay hydrated. But yeah, so I'm gonna go through and like do the stuff that's set in stone first. So please bear with me as I do a little fast forward. Okay, so that was the weeks, at least all of the set appointments that I have for the coming month. You know, as always, like here, there, you know, that things get canceled, things get moved around, and that's okay. And as you can see, probably you noticed, I made several mistakes throughout. Like here, or no, where is it? Here I stopped too early and I just continued anyway, but that is okay. That's something that I've learned to be okay with. Not every single week of your year is gonna look beautiful and perfect. And actually by like embracing imperfection, I think it's kind of therapeutic in a way. So yeah, that's what I have so far. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I was batching, and I have in my, let me stick this back in here, in my, somewhere I took notes of how I am going to reschedule everything because I was feeling overwhelmed. I didn't really have much room for breaks, and you know, I was just going one thing to the next without really thinking about it. So I broke down exactly, you know, what I'm gonna do for each week each day. And I think what I'm gonna do is just copy this over for the first week and see what I can do, go from there. So as you can see, I mean, honestly, I'm kind of on track for doing this. I guess I'm a little bit behind because some of this stuff is moved to Wednesday since I'm not completely caught up. I'm still tutoring. I haven't started that batch yet. But let me start by going on to the next week. So this coming week here, get rid of this so I don't poke a hole through this. And I think at the top, I might just write down each of these dots. So you can see, I mean, it's kind of hard to see probably. Let me see if I can zoom in here. I've added like dot, 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 and this is actually color coded for what I am doing each day. So I might just start by, well, honestly, I don't know. You can kind of see the color code here. Let me think, what's the best way of doing that? Okay, so what I'm gonna do is write down what my main focuses are for the day at the top. So for Mondays, it's pretty much fully booked. I'm just getting all of my work done and all of my meetings done in the beginning of the week, so then I can focus on my own stuff throughout. So as you can see here, I have this schedule. So Tuesday, I need to do blog posts and 508 work. So 508, and then also, no, that's be purple, blogs. And then on Wednesday, let's see what I got. So Wednesday, I'm gonna finish 508 and do YouTube channel stuff. So 508 YouTube. So whether that's, actually recording, scripting, editing a video, or making my social media, stuff like that, that's when that's gonna happen. Thursday, I'm gonna work on my 601 work, which is like a lot of work to do, / go home. Friday, what do I got? Oops, I completely lost the page because I stole the pencil away. Let's see. Let me find it again. Stick this in here. Friday, okay, therapy with media and the rest of homework. So I'm just gonna write homework, anything else that I have to finish, and then anything for my internship I will finish on Friday / make that the main goal of my Fridays. That way, if I don't completely finish any of this stuff during the week, I have Saturday and Sunday to catch up, although ideally I won't even have to do that. So I'm gonna leave it as is for the first week, see how it goes, and then fix it from there. But that's why I'm focusing on batching a lot more. For specific time blocking of my tasks, I'm gonna start by doing that in my daily pages until I find a routine that really works for me. So speaking of the daily pages, why don't we start by going to the beginning of this month of March and looking at the goals that I've created, and assessing, how I did and how I want to do better, if, I need to do better. So first is space. That's something that I established. I need to have a space where I can get work done that's not in the middle of my in-laws' house, which I love them, but it can be wearing to just be in the spotlight all the time. Even if it's, I feel relaxed, but I'm not 100% relaxed. I'm 98, 99% relaxed. I want to be able to have my own space, especially recording YouTube videos. I mean, as you can imagine, it can be pretty awkward to be recording a video in the middle of someone's house when they're walking around. So for the sake of them and me, I want my own space, which definitely I have acquired. We finished the room, we are moved in, and as it's getting nicer out, the outdoors is my space as well. Next is breathe. As I said, this is one that I need to work on. I barely did yoga or meditation. The little dots of meditation that I had done are when I did like a headspace running meditation, but I don't know, I don't think that really counts as much. I wouldn't count that as like a full, yoga / meditation one. So that's something that I really want to improve. And like I said, my Goodreads book club right now, we're doing Atomic Habits. So I'm rereading it and making a specific action plan, what is it? Is it implementation intention? Yeah. That surrounds yoga and meditation. Next is create. I definitely did start to do this more. I picked up an old documentary that I have just been sitting on. I made a rough cut, sent it to someone that I want to collaborate with. I'm starting another documentary, and I'm creating more for my YouTube channel. I started my podcast, Planning Ahead. If you did not watch it yet, please do it. It is, I'm really excited for it because I'm going to be interviewing creators and then also have my own kind of productivity journey and insights included in that. So I'm really happy with how it turned out. And also, this might be another kind of, I'm thinking of doing some sort of variation again for this month because I'm in the process of creating my portfolio. I'm in the process of creating my portfolio. So definitely what I create needs to be packaged very well. So another thing that I was considering when I wanted to make my goals for this month is there's a YouTube video by S Truthless, who I just discovered like in this past week, and he has some really, really awesome videos if you're into wellness, especially creativity. He's like a super creative guy. Being sure that what you're making gets out there, and doing what you love, finding the motivation to do what you love, definitely watch him. But he has a video called How to Reinvent Yourself in 2021. And obviously, while that's like an entire year, I kind of shrunk down his plan into a month. So what I did was I first looked at March and looked at what excited me, what drained me of energy, and what I learned. So let me walk through this quickly. So what excited me was starting a podcast, finally getting my room done, meeting with friends. I met with friends outdoors again. So that just made me super happy, keeping up contact with them, and also books, reading all those books, learning, a lot of them were fiction actually, but just seeing different stories, and then memoirs too. Those just really excited me. Things that drained me of energy was tutoring, not necessarily tutoring itself, but really having it spread out through the week. I was constantly like, oh, okay, I got to tutor later, so I can't do this now. So that definitely drained me of energy. Procrastination also drained me of energy because I would be thinking about doing this homework all week, and then I would wait until Sunday night to do it, and then I'd have to jam it all on Sunday night and finally do it. Laying in bed all day. I wouldn't say I lay in bed all day, but I definitely was laying in bed just scrolling or watching YouTube way too much, and I know that drained me of energy. So I actually started putting my phone like at the foot of my bed and the charger at the foot of my bed, and only having like my Kindle and a book up by me, and that's really helped. And also internship stuff has been draining me because I haven't had the time to really work on it. I've been like making all these plans, but I haven't made the time to actually do those plans. So I think again, batching is going to really help with that. So what did I learn? Like I said, I have to batch. 2, I have nowhere near as much time as I think, although I think batching is going to help with that. I also learned I'm afraid of looking for my job, and also of putting together my portfolio, because I have done so many different things that even my professor said I'm just like, I am spread way too thin. I'm gonna look like a nutcase to any person who looks at my portfolio, because I have done such a wide range of things, and I'm open to doing such a wide range of things. So openness is something that like I think is a good trait, but an employer looking at it and seeing, you know, such a variety may not think it's a good thing. And also I must make time for friends. That's something that I learned as well, because when I did meet with friends, I did make those plans. I had such a good time and I was happier, like way happier for it. So my ideal April, I just listed, he gives, I think, all these different kind of ideas. So making like an ideal April, making goals for April. So going into personal life and family, work, studies, profession, belongings, relaxation, habits, creativity, or hobbies, creativity, friends and community, health and fitness, intellectual, emotional and spiritual, finances, and bucket list. So I wrote, kind of like did a brain dump for all of these things. And then he says also, you should, for every single thing that you write, you should also ask these questions. I only kind of did it in general since it is just the month. So why do you want this? Who do you have to be? What would you have to say no to? What would you have to say yes to? How will your, where is it? Oh, how will you continue in hardship? So if something comes up, how will you go on? And why do you deserve this? So definitely, this was a really good practice. I highly suggest you check out his YouTube video if you kind of want to do this same process. I also kind of outlined some habits that I want to continue. So I knew I wanted to do social. I wanted to add a social aspect to it, since what I learned was I need to make time for friends. And also I wanted to make a 2-day rule for working out, because also when I run or when I work out, I have so much more energy for the rest of the day. So I really want to start doing that more. And then he ends his video with a quote, is how you do anything is how you do everything. So just being mindful throughout the day, approaching everything as the person that you want to be. So yeah, I think that kind of goes into what I want my goals for this month to be. So definitely friendship is one of them. And I think I might just use my brush pens for this one, kind of like a pastel-y, I guess, Eastery vibe, even though Easter is super early. It's still in April. So definitely friends. I'm always bad at writing in cursive, but being extra careful here. So and oh god, that end looked awful. Friends. Ooh, that brush was bad, but you know what? That's okay. Another thing is I think my creative identity. So as I'm making my portfolio and figuring out, you know, how I want to present myself, that's definitely something that I'm going to be thinking about. So by the way, I have no idea if the cursive that I'm doing is correct. I can't remember. How do you even do it? Just, yeah, okay. Oh shoot, is it identity? Wow, I'm really gonna have to Google search this. Yeah, it's with a T. It's with a T. Just, I thought so, but I just wanted to be sure. That's sad. I'm an English tutor and I don't know how to spell. So identity. So my creative identity. I am being a little bit quick with this kind of like coloration, I guess. And then also, I mean, I really need to do breathe again, but I need maybe just like, not mindfulness. I feel like I just need inner awareness. Yeah, I guess I could write that. Inner aware. Oh God. Ness. Obviously, I don't have any spatial awareness, but this isn't the prettiest page, but I don't know. I'm like caring less and less about making things look super pretty and more about just like being creative and writing something in the first place. Because I feel like otherwise you're just kind of like stuck worried about being perfect. Instead of just, making it. So friends, creative identity, and inner awareness. I think those are really good goals, honestly. And yeah, I mean, honestly, I think I'm ready just to, let me grab my box of trinkets here. Where can I would like to add some of these. I don't know if they'll fit. These are all kind of like horizontal. I don't know, that doesn't look quite right. They're just too big. You know what? Next time I think I have to start with those if I want to include them, then write around them. Let's see. Maybe. I don't want to completely cover the April. I don't know if that's gonna work. Let me start with washi tape instead. I do want to add a lot of green because green is making me happy. Making me happy lately. I'm definitely gonna need some sort of like border there. Does that look completely crazy? Probably. That doesn't even reach all the way. Let me redo that one. That's what's nice about washi tape. I don't know. Gotta get creative with this. I mean, as always, you gotta get creative with it. Watch people unsubscribe because I'm so imperfect. I wouldn't blame them, honestly, but you've come to the wrong place if you're looking for perfection. Oops. All right, well, I tried a lot of things, but I think I'm just gonna stick with adding these cute little flower stickers around here. All right, well, I'm happy with that. Just adding little flower stickers. I mean, obviously it's not the prettiest thing ever, but as I've said, if you're looking for aesthetically pleasing, this is not the channel. I try my best to make things look cute. But yeah, that's my little April goal page. Just trying something out, you know. So yeah, when April 1st starts, I already have a couple of plans. I have to upload this video and do some homework, but that is my plan for my goals for April. So yeah, I think with that'll be the end of the video. If you are interested in following me, most of my videos are more utility based, explaining how to use the Hobonichi for productivity, wellness, and all of that. I also started my podcast called Planning Ahead. Please subscribe and keep updated for that, because I will be uploading an interview with an awesome YouTuber who uses journaling for finance mostly, but also productivity, wellness, and all of that, and she is super cool. So yeah, keep updated on that. If you'd like to join a community of Hobonichi users / just journaling for productivity, please join my Facebook group. All of the links for any of the products are in the description below, as always. And please, if you are watching my content, if you got this far, definitely please subscribe, because it shows me that, you know, people care, people are watching. And comment below if you have any questions about using your own Hobonichi, or ideas for videos that you want to see, or questions or comments in general. I love to hear from you guys. So yeah, that'll be it. Happy April, everybody. Honestly, I'm almost tearing up with joy, because I'm so happy that we finally got to this point. And in Connecticut, at least, vaccines open April 1st. So finally, it might be the end of this awful quarantine. And I mean, I'm fortunate that I didn't lose anyone super close to me. But I'm so excited for this to be over. Seriously, the coming of this spring feels super special. It makes me appreciate life so much more. So here's to a good April, and yeah, subscribe for more content. Thank you.